guys, it's Sarah and I'm here with a Disney layout. So this one is going to be about meeting Kylo-Ren. We got to meet him at Hollywood Studios. So I went through my stash and I really pulled out a bunch of just black, white, and red, and that's basically going to be my color scheme here to go along with his main color scheme as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these Studio Calico Mistable stars, and they are kind of like a canvas almost material. So I'm going to actually use some gelato and I'm going to make those red. So I'm just going to pull out, I believe 6 stars in all different sizes, and I'm going to go ahead and, oh, actually I do 9. So 3 of each size here. So I'm going to do that, and what I'm going to do is just rub the gelato directly onto them, and then I'm going to use a paintbrush dipped in water and just kind of spread the color around. So while I'm doing that, we went to Hollywood Studios. Obviously, that was our first stop, and so it was completely full of Star Wars. And my girls have only seen The Force Awakens, but they love it. So they really enjoyed all the Star Wars stuff there. And when we found out that Kylo-Ren was there and we could actually like get in line and go see him, we did that. And we got a big group picture of all of us with him, like our entire group, but something happened, and I guess there was too much time between when we could get the picture and when we actually tried to get the picture, so it was gone. So that's the only bad thing about these Disney Picture Pass things. Like, you know, they expire. You have to get your pictures after before a certain time frame, and we were too late on it. So I didn't have our group picture, but I just went on Google and just Googled pictures of Kylo Ren from Hollywood Studios and found this good one. So it's most likely not even the same guy we saw, but it's a good picture. So it was the only thing I could really get a hold of. All right, so I'm going to let those stars dry, and while I'm doing that, I will go ahead and get my layout done. So I have some papers here. This black and white grid is from Studio Calico, and then I have another grid paper there that's it's almost an ombre. It's kind of darker on the top and lighter on the bottom. It goes from red to almost orange. And that's just a scrap from my stash, so I'm going to go ahead and use that there too. So I'm just making some layers here. And I like the grids because it kind of goes along with the Star Wars theme, like with their scenery and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use a piece of black cardstock, which is going to be my backing. So I'm going to cut down the Studio Calico star paper. I think it's called Stargazer. And it has a whole bunch at top, and then it looks like they're kind of dripping down the page. So I'm going to use that for my main background. And I just cut it down by 1/4 inch on each side. I'm going to go ahead and stick it onto that black cardstock. And then this little numbers scrap piece of paper here, I have no clue where that's from. I've had it for a very, very long time. But it's funny because, you know, it has all the numbers on it, and the stormtroopers are identified by numbers. So I thought that was kind of fitting. And then there's a couple little spaces there that say free capital. So I thought that was kind of funny because they're the stormtroopers, like there's the capital part of Star Wars. So I thought it was pretty fitting. Okay, and then I have this black and white and red striped piece of scrap paper as well. So everything pretty much is scraps except for the 2 large pieces that I use there. And those are both Studio Calico. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that down. And I like that. I think that's nice. And I did rip the edge of the number paper there as well, just to kind of give it some more texture. All right, so I pulled these 2 different alphas. I'm not sure which one I want to use. I wanted to have a black one and a red one as an option because I just wasn't sure how it was going to come together when I pulled it all. So I'm deciding to go with the black. I thought the red was just a little bit too shiny and not really the look I was going for here. So I'm going to use these black thickers. These are called Daily, and they're from Amy Tangerine. And they're kind of like a corrugated cardboard almost, and it's very, very thin. And I do need to use my quick dry adhesive to put these down because they're not going to stick very well. They're pretty old. I've had them for a very long time. So I am just going to spell out Kylo-Ren. And I'm doing it backwards because I want to make sure that I have enough room to put them. If I had started from the beginning of the word, I most likely, knowing myself, would have made it too far over and just, it wouldn't have worked. So, but if I know where my title's going to go and I don't need to use my wax paper or anything, I just go ahead and start spelling backwards. And then he was also really in character the whole time. It was pretty funny. And I'm sorry there's a glare from my light. I'm using a very glossy picture. I went through a little phase where my printer wasn't working, so I had to order pictures from Walgreens and they came out very glossy. So, all right, I'll talk more about his character in just a second here, but what I'm doing is I'm taking this little banner sticker from the Simple Stories sticker sheet, and I wanted to use the banner and the arrow part, but there was one piece of the banner that has a bunch of colors in it, and I didn't want all those colors introduced. So I'm cutting off that part of it, and then cutting off the arrow that's above it, or to the side there, and I'm just kind of piecing it back together. So I literally just took out the colors that I didn't want on it, and then put the arrow part back so that it makes another complete arrow there. There is a little bit of a space, like you can kind of tell, but I will fix that in just a second here. I also have this map from Hollywood Studios. They have the maps of the parks in the front of each park as you go in, and I literally grabbed a handful every time I went. So I would have the options of cutting some stuff out of them and, you know, using them on my layouts and all that. So I'm using this Star Wars Awakens Hollywood Studios little label here. My stars are pretty much dry, so I'm going to go ahead and get them down. I'm just going to do 3 in 3 little sections here. So, so for Kylo-Ren, you know, we went in and we met him, and he was definitely in character the entire time. You know, they're supposed to be, but we lined up along the wall to take a picture with him, and he went up to my father-in-law and said, "You're in my spot, please move." He didn't say please, but he said stand aside. And then my sister-in-law has a 1-year-old, and he looked directly at him and said he looks forward to his service in the future. So it was pretty funny. He was a pretty good character. All right, so I have, I put down a little arrow that says these moments, and that is from a thickers pack called Celebrate. And then I have these little brad buttons. These are from Simple Stories, and I'm going to use the black and the red ones. And then I have this little ampersand one that's black and red, and I'm going to stick that right over that arrow so it kind of hides the little spot where you can kind of tell that I cut it. So that kind of helps it flow. And you'll see a close-up of that in the in my still shots as well. And then I have this little washi strip tape from Crate Paper from their On Trend washi sticker sheet. I'm trying to get that used up. I only have a few left, so I'm really trying to use the rest of those up on that package. That's very old. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines to do my journaling. I'm just using my ruler and my pen. Kind of taking a guess at how much room I'm going to need. But I definitely wanted to talk about, you know, him being in character, and the girls were just like wide-eyed the entire time. Like they really wanted to meet him, but they were kind of scared at the same time. And my stars are still a little bit wet, so I'm just putting a Post-it over them because I'm a lefty. So my hand's going to be going over them. So in order to keep everything from smudging, I just put a Post-it over it while I write. But yeah, my girls love The Force Awakens and really starting to get into Star Wars. They were actually Rey, and Kaylin was Rey for Halloween, and Layla was Kylo-Ren. So you're going to see a layout of that coming up here soon because it was just so cute. Layla was adorable. And when she said she wanted to be Kylo-Ren, I was like, yes! So she was the cutest. And that is going to complete my layout, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I got close-ups coming here for you. And I will be back again soon with some more layouts for you. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.